first lecture, and I was trying to impress them with my fly down and a little piece of my shirt coming out of the fly.
Oh, that's perfect comedy.
Yeah.
That's flawless comedy when it does that little peak thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So
it was beautiful.
okay, so
but that's the point, and the whole point was I wasn't nervous anymore for any lecture after that ever.
Yes, got many HR complaints though. They were like, I mean, we would like you to zip the fly up, and he's like, "This is the new me.
Sorry,
this is the new me, Professor Fly.
I got to be me.
I found myself, baby.
That's my suspenders." But this
is what I get.
Face your pain, face your fear, face your suffering.
Wait. Let's do this step by step because I the thing I want to be careful of is you actually taught me this in many ways, but it's like sometimes when you speak to somebody who has mastered something or has a certain mastery of something, they can gloss through it and move through it in a way that sounds correct, but then sometimes doesn't connect with how people are hearing it. So let's take these things step by step because you study happiness.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you've studied it for how long now?
I wrote my first book on happiness about 25 years ago.
Right. So you've really been in the game.
Yeah, but I've been the last 7 years writing, speaking, and teaching full-time, nothing else.
So let's start with the core idea because I think it's important for us to build from the ground up, understanding you and understanding your work. The first thing I realize we need to think about is what is happiness? Because everyone says they want to be happy. Right. America, the pursuit of happiness.
Which is not the promise of happiness.
No, but the pursuit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The pursuit. So I want to know from you as somebody who's studied it, how do you define happiness?
So first, what is it not? It's not a feeling. The biggest mistake that we make is misunderstanding emotions. Most people think that happiness is a feeling, but happiness is a feeling kind of like your Thanksgiving dinner is the smell of your turkey. It's not. The smell of the turkey is evidence of Thanksgiving dinner, and the feeling of happiness is evidence of actual happiness. Happiness has, like your Thanksgiving dinner, has 3 macronutrients, 3 constituent parts that you need to get really good at understanding and changing your habits around. Number 1 is enjoyment, which is not the same thing as pleasure. Mm-hmm. If you're pursuing pleasure, you're not going to find happiness. You're going to find rehab. And it's very different, understanding the difference between pleasure and enjoyment. Second is satisfaction, which is the joy that you get from an accomplishment after struggle. And the accomplishment is not more important than the struggle for satisfaction. And the third is meaning. That's what I'm doing most of my work on for now years. Meaning, the meaning of life. You know, what is the why of your existence? You need to become an elite athlete in enjoying your life, taking satisfaction in your accomplishments and your achievements, and understanding the why of your existence. Those are your 3 big jobs.
And enjoying
if you want to be a happier person. That's what it comes to. And then a lot of the time, you'll get the feeling of happiness. Mm-hmm. Not all the time, but that's not what you can rely on.
So happiness is the byproduct of the actions that you are taking.
Yeah. So the feeling of happiness is a byproduct.
Feeling, right.
The happiness itself is the amount of enjoyment, satisfaction, and meaning that you're experiencing in your life.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fat that you eat is the amount of food and calories that you're getting. That's what it comes down to. That's how to think about it. And each one of those things is really important. Some people, the good news is nobody's great across all of these things. I have tests that I give my students to find out in which macronutrient they need work. I know a lot of people who take tons of satisfaction in what they do because they have a lot of achievements and they've worked hard and they've struggled.
Yeah.
But they don't know why they're doing it. They have a low sense of meaning. And I know a lot of really big executives, hedge fund managers and private equity people make a ton of dough.
People that everyone are like sort of aspiring to.
Yeah, and they don't enjoy their lives at all because they don't know how to enjoy.
And what are they lacking in those instances? So somebody comes into your world who says, Professor Brooks, I'm nailing it. I'm satisfied in this realm. I'm doing it. But man, I just don't feel good. What do you find they're missing, or why is it so difficult to experience that happiness if they're missing meaning?
So if they're missing meaning, then there will be no reason for what they're doing. So meaning really has 3. Meaning is the heaviest, most philosophical part of it all, but it's the most important of these macronutrients. It's the protein. It's basically the protein of your happiness is your
driver.
Yeah. So meaning is really a combination of being able to answer 3 questions. Why do things happen the way they do in life? That's coherence. And some people answer that with religion, and some people answer that with science. I'm both religious and a scientist, for both. Some people Here's a funny thing. You know people who follow a lot of conspiracy theories. That's
Yeah.
very common today. They're going down the rabbit hole. Are you a conspiracy theorist? Generally speaking,
Love your Batman voice, though. It's the best one I've heard yet.
The what?
We had Mamdani trying. It was okay.
You
Yours?
rate this one more?
Yeah.
Nah, Mamdani
The
still
Batman
wins it
voice.
for me.
The Batman voice?
Yeah, the one-
Yeah.
Conspiracy
You're a conspiracy theorist.
It's not bad. It's actually not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I'm auditioning to be the next Batman. I realize it's called Bald Batman.
You wear the that's why.
I know, but
no one will know.
I know, but Bruce Wayne, he has a beautiful head of hair.
This is true.
I know, but not now. It's a new
Could
day.
change.
Yeah.
Could change.
That's
But
right.
okay, so you're saying
So
conspiracy theorists. What,
conspiracy theorists are looking for coherence. They're looking for an answer to the question, why do things happen the way that they do? So when I meet somebody who's really down the rabbit hole of weird conspiracy theories, that is a dead giveaway that what they're looking for is coherence because they want meaning, because they want to get happier. That's where I'm going to actually work with that person. I'm going to work with that person in alternative ways. And I'm not going to say you're an idiot. I'm not going to say that's not true. I'm not going to say, go read the paper, for God's sake. I'm going to say, let's work on different ways to understand why things happen the way that they do. I'm going to try to reconnect them with the faith of their youth. I'm going to try to get them really interested in science, different nutritious ways to actually understand why things happen the way they do.
So it's not erasing their curiosity nor their need to find coherence, but it's finding a healthier balance of those ingredients.
It's a redirection.
Okay.
It's a redirection towards something that will truly bring you a sense of coherence while not alienating you from, the people at your Thanksgiving table. So that's number one. It's just one element.
But while you're still on that, though, let's talk on that one element. Does that apply to everything? So can you meet somebody who, for instance, is so religious that they're not having a good time in life? Or can you meet somebody who is so science-based that they're not having a good time in life? Or does it only apply to like conspiracy?
Well, conspiracy theories, it tends to be kind of antisocial. And so if something that your sense of coherence is pulling you away from your love relationships, then that's going to be militating against another one of the elements of meaning, which is significance. Significance is that your life matters to someone. Your life has to matter to someone. No matter
the significant other part.
It has to be your spouse, your kids, your parents, your friends, God.
Wow.
You need to be significant. And when you're doing something with your sense of coherence, like conspiracy theories, that's ruining your relationships, then coherence goes up, but significance goes down, and you're defeating the purpose. Those are different elements that have to be in balance.
You become an expert in that subject, but alone in it.
And if you...
My mom said this a lot.
Nice.
My mom said
I got to
this a
meet
lot.
your mom because already your mom has made 2 appearances.
Yes. My mom used to say, if you love being right, you'll be right alone. It makes so much
you'll be
sense
an
now.
expert. Yeah.
You'll be certainly unmarried. It's a good way to stay a bachelor.
You're cutting too deep, man.
I've been married 34 years. I'm wrong a lot.
But I guess that's the foundation of all relationship, right?
Yeah.
Is
Significance.
in fact, all society, funny enough, even if you just keep expanding on
Yeah,
it
that's
becomes the like, how much do you care about being right?
Being right. I
versus-
mean, that's the whole basis of our, culture of contempt. That's the whole basis of the fact that we can't get along politically, that we have ideological wars, cancel culture, all of it is this grievance about having to be right all the time, as opposed to, I wonder if somebody actually is saying something interesting to me. Inquiry is not about being right. Inquiry is about learning.
But the system isn't designed to reward that.
Activism is about being right.
Yes.
And so when you get the wrong balance of inquiry and activism, it turns the ship over.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying the system is important, though.
Right.
Because what you just said about like our childhoods,
Right.
something forms you,
Right.
something shapes you.
Right.
And oftentimes it's how the people around you responded to an action that you took.
Right.
Right? So now because of your suspenders, they respond to you a certain way. Because of the way you sing, you responded to a certain because of the way I tripped, they responded to me a certain way. Because of the way you fell, people respond to you a certain way, you respond.
Right.
When we're living in a world where the systems themselves are rewarding people for one versus the other.
Right.
You don't get rewarded for compassion online.
No.
Let's be honest.
No,
You don't.
It's an entirely different scale of reward that you get. You get rewarded, but you don't get the same scale of reward, the same intensity of reward.
Yes.
Which is really, really important. You get a slow burn of what you're actually able to. You have a different kind of impact. You have to become, I guess, comfortable with the idea that you're not going to get the same intensity of reaction. And part of the reason for that, by the way, is the limbic system of the brain has more tissue dedicated to negative emotion than to positive emotion. Oh, wow. And
Why is that?
Because in the evolutionary environment, in the
avoid,
Pleistocene, you needed negative emotions more than you needed positive emotions. Negative emotions are an alarm.
Yeah, to avoid danger.
So fear, anger, disgust, and sadness, those are the 4 negative emotions. And all
You're
of
good,
them,
man.
He's a professor.
That's
He's a professor. I love the idea that Eugene would be in your class like, yo, this guy. Yo. Hey, my man, I think you're going to ace this class. This guy.
Good, man.
This guy in the
Pay
front.
you to come to my class.
By the way, I love your fly.
Keep it down. Keep it down.
You're a horrible friend. Now he's yours, Arthur.
Perfect. I got students who are big fans of yours. Like, I was there that day. I felt threatened. I felt unsafe.
Actually, by the way, I'm going to hold that as,
Yes,
let's keep moving
going back
through.
to, we're going down.
Please.
No, this is good.
This is like a
there's so many
nesting
branches.
doll of
This is exactly
science.
what it
This
is.
is like a Matryoshka Russian.
You
Let's
figured
go.
it out. This is exactly
Let's go.
what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
Yes, but we'll hold that and let's move.
So
keep moving
the
down
negative
meaning.
emotions. So
Yeah.
the negative emotions exist because those are alarm systems for the things that can kill you. You have sadness so that you will not be rejected by your kin. We're in the Pleistocene, Homo sapiens lived in bands of 30 to 50 individuals.
Okay.
Kin-based hierarchical bands of individuals. And the Pleistocene, starting 250,000 years ago, was when we got the modern brain. Our brains are the same. And so all the weird stuff that we do today is because it was suitable to being in hierarchical kin-based bands of 30 to 50 individuals. It explains almost everything. It explains how genders work together. It explains why we have envy, why we try to climb in hierarchies, why we want to be famous. All that stuff is actually explained by the Pleistocene brain, is what it comes down to. But also, that Pleistocene brain had a lot more space for the negative emotions. Positive emotions are nice to have. Negative emotions keep you alive. And so if you hear a little snap of a twig behind you, your first reaction is not, I bet that's my friend Trevor who's come to say hi. Like you run and ask questions later.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you're not going to be abandoned. You want to make sure you're not going to get killed. You want to make sure you don't ingest poison. That's what disgust is for. There's a beautiful little place in the limbic system called the insular cortex, and that little thing is your disgust mechanism, and that's all that kept you from ingesting poison before there was like vaccines and antibiotics.
It was just a signifier that this thing could kill you.
Yeah, that's why something that smells dead, something